What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. And today we're taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends Gamerverse Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure Thunderstrike. And we're going to go ahead and get right into this, starting off with the packaging. It is your standard Marvel Legends style packaging, so you are able to see the figure right here. On the side, we have some really nice looking Thunderstrike artwork. On the back of the box, we get a look at the figure itself, and then we get a look at all the other figures it takes to build Joe Fixit. As you can see, it takes 6 figures. We have Iron Man, Captain America, Falcon, Jocasta, Kang, and then Thunderstrike himself. And not only did Hasbro hit us with one of these little mini pathetic biographies on a character, they also put the wrong name. As you can see here, they put Kevin Masterson, and obviously this version of Thunderstrike is Eric Masterson. Kevin was actually his son that became Thunderstrike like much later. But yeah, this is ridiculous, man. It's one damn sentence, and they got the name wrong. And that's about it for the packaging. Just like all Marvel Legends figures, it is collector friendly, so you are able to take the figure out and put it back in as you please. But enough about the box. Let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. So here we have Eric Masterson, aka Thunderstrike, right out of the packaging. And I'm really enjoying this figure so far. And it kind of caught me by surprise because I wasn't expecting to see so many new parts on this guy. Because originally, I thought he was basically just going to be a retooled version of the 80th anniversary Thor body, but it turns out that these two figures share very little parts. They do have some things in common, but really only one thing that turns out to be like 3 pieces, because the arms are exactly the same on these two figures, so they do share shoulders, arms, and hands. But aside from that, these two figures are completely different, and I'm really happy about that, because originally I thought they were just gonna, modify the torso on that Thor and throw a jacket on it, put a new head on it, and call it Thunderstrike. But fortunately, they went ahead and gave us a bunch of new sculpting work. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So as you can see, this torso is brand new. And it does have these discs sculpted on there, so, there's not a whole lot of reuse they could get out of this. The only other character that comes to mind that could utilize this torso is Beta Ray Bill. So hopefully they're going to give us a classic Beta Ray Bill soon, because I really want to see Hasbro's take on that. And judging by Thunderstrike and the 80th anniversary Thor, they can make an amazing Beta Ray Bill. Classic version, They already gave us a more modern one, and that one's cool, but we need a classic Beta Ray Bill from Hasbro. But yeah, this Thunderstrike figure is nice. And aside from the torso, the legs also look like they're new, because as you can see, he's got the pinless thing going on. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the pinless thing on the arms because, as I mentioned, these come from an older body, so maybe that's why they don't have the pinless technology thing going on there. But I really wish they would have done that. It would have made this figure look a lot better. But I do appreciate that they did it on the legs, and it does look very nice. And then we've got these cool Thunderstrike boots that look good. Obviously, that's new. And one other thing that he shares with another figure is the jacket, because he does have the same exact jacket as the Rage figure that came out earlier this year. Obviously, they're painted different, but the sculpt is exactly the same. But they did a good job of adding little paint details to make them feel different enough. Like if you have them standing side by side, you can't even tell that it's the same jacket. So they did a really good job there. And taking a closer look at the details on Thunderstrike, starting off with the head, I think they did a great job with this head sculpt. It's very well sculpted. You can see that the beard has some nice details. The facial expression is really cool. The hair looks good, and then we have the ponytail. All of that looks really nice, but I do wish that he came with an alternate head, maybe just like a relaxed facial expression, because having him scream all the time like this is a little bit limiting. And really, the only thing you could do is have him hitting somebody. You can't really have him just standing there behind Thor or alongside the other Avengers. He's going to look like a madman, But the work on this head is very well done. I just wish they would have included an alternate head. You can see like the mouth area is very clean. The beard looks good. The eyes look nice. Definitely gives off like that look that he had on those 90s comic book covers. So I do like that a lot. And then moving down into the body, the vest does look really good. There's a lot of really nice sculpted detail on here. You can see a bunch of buttons and zippers and belts and buckles and all kinds of good stuff. So they did a great job with this vest. I thought it looked good on Rage, and I think it looks really good on Eric Masterson here. So they did a good job with it. Let's take a look at the back. There's a bunch of like texture and stitching. Yeah, it looks great. And then taking a look at the torso, this all looks really nice. We have these little discs sculpted on there, and mine do have a couple of little paint scuffs, but they're covered by the vest, so it's not a huge deal. And then he does have the belt, which is a loose piece, and as you can see, there is no waist swivel under there, but the belt does look good. Has a T for Thunderstrike on there. The legs look nice. We do have the pinless joints going on, which are awesome. And then the boots have a bunch of really nice sculpted detail. It's got these crazy, very 90s boots. And last but not least, let's take a look at his mace. It's kind of hard to see because it's kind of a dark color, which I mean, it's fine, but I kind of wish that it was a lighter gray. But it does look pretty good. We have the T on the top of it. And the handle has some pretty nice sculpting work. And he has no problem holding it, but I like to wrap the chain piece around his wrist. I think that looks pretty cool. And then for the arms, like I said, these are the same arms that came with Hercules and Thor. These Hercules shoulders are kind of crazy, but they work for a big buff guy like Thunderstrike. And I know some people were kind of worried about the wristbands, but they are on there, and they are little loose pieces that you can remove if you need to for whatever reason. But yeah, the sculpting work on Thunderstrike is pretty well done, especially with the head and the vest, so I like what we have going on here. And as for accessories, aside from the Joe Fixit head sculpt and the Thunderstrike mace, the only accessory that he comes with is a fist for his left hand. And I do appreciate that they gave him a fist, but I wish that they gave him a set of fists, not just one fist, you know, because it kind of limits your options. As it is now, he has one gripping hand, one fist, and one open hand. And let's go ahead and get into some size comparisons, starting off with Thunderstrike alongside a couple of his brothers in arms. On the left, we have the Marvel Legends Beta Ray Bill, and on the right, we have the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Thor, and both of these figures have custom capes by the one and only Harker Customs, and those capes just really took those figures to the next level. But I love the way all three of these guys look together, and like I said before, I really hope that Hasbro comes around and gives us a classic Beta Ray Bill. That'll fit in even better with Thunderstrike and Thor. But as it is right here, I think this is dope, and I love seeing all three of these guys together like this. And then next up, we have Thunderstrike alongside the Marvel Legends Ares and the Marvel Legends Hercules. And then now here we have him alongside the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Captain America and the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Iron Man. And of course we have Thunderstrike alongside the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And then now here we have Eric alongside the Marvel Legends Ulick and the Marvel Legends Boar from the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Battle for Asgard, I think it was. It was something like that. I don't really remember, but that was a really cool exclusive. And these two figures were definitely the highlight from it, and it's just cool having like these random Asgardians. And then for the final comparison, we have Thunderstrike alongside the Mythic Legions Balam and the Zesray Combatants Fight for Glory Reaper, I believe that figure was called. I can't really remember. Let me know in the comments. He's a cool figure. But if you want to have Thunderstrike fighting some gladiators or maybe some Mythic Legion type monsters, as you can see, he'll fit in there perfectly fine. And speaking of that Asgardian 5-pack, I do have the Thor that was in that set. And you know what? I was checking him out, and it looks like he might work for a more relaxed Eric Masterson. So let's go ahead and do a quick little head swap here. Yeah, I mean, that kind of works. The skin tones don't really match. But if you want an Eric Masterson just to be hanging out like in the back of the Avengers or something, like Avengers headquarters kind of setup, you know, that kind of works, right? Yeah, so there's an option, but he really should have come with an alternate head. But you know what? This head does scream super intense 90s comic book, so you know, I love it, but it would have been nice to have an alternate. And as for his articulation, as I mentioned before, he does have a new body, but the articulation is still pretty much just your standard Marvel Legends articulation setup, but it's definitely enough for Thunderstrike, so I'm pretty happy with what we have. But let's go ahead and start it off at the head. He does have a ball hinge joint at the neck, so his head is able to move side to side. The ponytail does get in the way a little bit, but not enough to bug me. You could still move it as much as you need to. It's got a little bit of tilt. It could look down to about right there. And then originally I thought the ponytail was going to prevent his head from moving up at all, but it turns out that the jacket is soft enough that you could still get his head to move up a pretty decent amount, considering that he has a jacket with the collar and a ponytail. So that's pretty good. And then for the torso, we do have a diaphragm cut, so you are able to twist. So that's nice. It could go side to side. It could go back only to about right there. It's pretty much stopped by the jacket, you know. And then it goes forward to about right there. So not a whole lot of ab crunch, but still, I still love the diaphragm cut. And then for the arms, he does have ball jointed shoulders that do go all the way around. They could come out to the side to about right there, which is pretty nice. And you could get his arms in front of him a really good amount too, even though he's got these big old crazy Hercules shoulders. That's pretty decent. It's not the best ever. It would be nice if they could get in front of him a little bit more, but it's alright. And then he does have an upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which gets a nice bend. He has a swivel on the wrist, and then for the gripping hand, he does have that vertical hinge. And for the other hands, he just has your typical hinge. His legs do come out to the side to about right there. He could kick forward, whoa, a pretty nice amount for such big old legs. Then you could bring his legs back only to about right there. Then they kind of start to go out to the side a little bit. And then he does have the upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knee, which only bends to right there. Maybe because of the huge boot. Yeah, you would think it'd go a little bit more, but that's about it. He doesn't have any type of lower leg swivel at the boot or anything. No lower leg swivel at the foot. But he does have rocking ankles, and his foot could go forward to about right there, and then it comes up to right there. I do really wish that he had a boot cut, but maybe they couldn't do it because the boot went up too high, so it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, articulation is pretty decent, especially for like a big muscular character like Thunderstrike. Alright, so overall, I think this is a great figure. I think that Hasbro did a really nice job of mixing up new parts and old parts and giving us something that feels new and awesome. So I think they did a great job with it. I'm very happy to finally have a Thunderstrike figure for my 6-inch collection. I've always been a big fan of Thunderstrike. I really like the weird, I don't want to say knockoff, but like the copy of you know, popular characters that eventually become like their sidekicks or background characters or important characters themselves. But you know, like Thunderstrike, Better Ray Bill, War Machine, US Agent, I've always liked those kind of characters, you know. And a lot of those guys seem to be pretty popular in the 90s. That's when I was really into all this stuff. So I don't know, these characters always remind me of my childhood, especially something as ridiculous as Thunderstrike, you know. He's like a god of thunder with the 90s bomber's jacket and a ponytail. I just love that stuff. So Hasbro did a good job of bringing that to life, and like I said, I'm very happy to finally have a 6-inch Thunderstrike figure. And I really like the new parts here. The torso is very well done. I like the muscles, the size. The legs are really good too. I love the pinless technology thing on the knees. I really wish they would have put that on the arms, but I get that they reuse the arms, so these are older molds, so you know, they don't have the pinless thing going on. But aside from that, I really can't think of anything that I dislike about this figure. You know, obviously it would have been cool if he had butterfly joints, but you know, the fact that he doesn't isn't ruining the figure. But that's definitely something that would have made this figure that much better. But as it is, I am very happy with it. The one big flaw I would say that this guy has is the fact that he doesn't come with that many accessories. They could have really thrown a bunch of stuff in there and made this a lot of fun, but they kind of cheaped out on it and just gave us one fist. One accessory that I really wish they would have thrown in here was an extra Eric Masterson Thor head. I think that would have been dope to throw onto the 80th anniversary Thor. Maybe one day they'll re-release 80th anniversary Thor with the Eric Masterson Thor head, but that would have been nice to get that head sculpt in here with Thunderstrike. I think that would have been really dope. Other than that, I think it's everything that you'd want from a Thunderstrike figure, so I'm happy with it. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. Thank you very much. Peace.